my information out of the way.
Did we get the flag thing worked out today?
Watch, look at me.
Look at you.
Oh, you're a flag now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty.
Oh,
That's
cool.
Okay, it's live.
Beg your pardon?
They'll be up by your house here in a minute.
No doubt.
I thought I had a problem.
Did everyone receive Sheriff Crawford's reports that I emailed out about an hour ago?
I just got in. I haven't seen them yet.
No, I don't have it.
I don't need.
I don't have it.
Jackie, hello?
Hi.
Jackie.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Anyone come in absent or say they wouldn't be here? Clerk?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Did anyone say they wouldn't be here?
I have not heard from anyone.
Okay. Waiting for Miss Andrews.
Okay, Sheriff Crawford's reports were sent out. He had sent them to me under the corrected ordinance 3-20.
Oh, I have that.
Okay, so if you go back and look at the most recent one of those, his reports are attached to that.
Okay. I have it too then.
I have 6:01. You all ready to get started?
Yep, ready.
Actually, it's 6. I'm sure Miss Andrews will be coming in later. All right, we have a presentation tonight and from Red Cross. I'm going to ask Councilwoman Turner to go ahead and introduce this gentleman. Today's date is the 25th of January, 2021. So I'll turn it over to you, Ms. Turner.
All right. Well, thank you, President Biggers, and everyone in council. This is Brian Williams from the Red Cross, and he's just here to talk with us tonight about possibly partnering with them to do a city blood drive.
All right, welcome, Brian. You there? I think he's on mute.
Yeah, I think so too. It's like he's trying.
No video.
Having some technical difficulties. Brian, you there? Does anybody have his number?
There we go.
I heard something. Uh-oh.
A science fiction movie.
Oh, my goodness. Mr. Williams, are you there? What happened? Do you have a phone? Somebody calling?
That's just a preview of my.
This is not working.
Tom, you know you're going to be blamed for this.
This is gonna hit now.
Oh my.
Yeah, usually this sort of thing happens when the internet connection's not fast enough, or there's some sort of an issue with the internet connection.
So it's not a monster.
Hopefully not. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Was that a preview of Mark's speech?
Aren't you glad citizens of your council have a sense of humor?
Yeah.
We do.
We've been working on that
Oh my goodness.
Well,
Mr. Williams, are you there? We'll come back and
Yeah.
we'll move on with our meeting. Mr. Mayor, you're up. We'll come back, Mr. Williams.
I've actually had a pretty late week, so it's been working on legalities of combined Board of Zoning Appeals with the Planning Commission, working with Bob's office, and really working on some fiber, running some fiber on AEP poles for some infrastructure from our Public Works office on Browns Lane to the cemetery for not only phone lines, but for some security, for some cameras within the cemetery. Actually, you guys will be proud of me. I got an initial price of $11,000 to run about a half a block of fiber on AEP poles. And after a little conversation with AEP, we're down to $700. So if you guys ever negotiate it, give me a call. And I don't know, people like giving me free money, and they really like. I mean, from 11,000 to $700, I felt like I hit a home. So we've actually had some recent complaints about the cemetery and stones tipped over. Want to get some cameras up. We've had some things go on at Kids America with broken lights in the picnic shelter. Someone was in a breaker box, so luckily they didn't meet their maker trying to steal breakers out of a live breaker box. But I would like to get actually I've been working the last year on trying to run fiber. So when I say the government runs slow, boy, sometimes it runs slow. So we will definitely get kind of waiting on our security network, Wi-Fi networks. Just been waiting on pieces and parts. A lot of waiting due to COVID. And been talking to people. A couple good ideas. Community gardens. Maybe putting a community garden. I know we had one down where Family Physicians was. Talked to Kevin Shire, our Public Works Director, and possibility looking around where the big was at 6th Street Park. So we're definitely looking for a community garden, a good space for the community to get out and grow plants, and kind of, if it ever came down to being self-sustainable, I guess we could if we're growing our own produce. Had a resident reach out to me this past week about a leash law for cats. So I know neighborhood, we name all of our feral cats. And actually I've been approached about doing a feral 5G cat network for internet. And I would like to say that that's a joke. So please know that we are not hooking 5G antennas up to cats. I told the resident that I would talk to council about a leash law for cats, and this is your chance to heavily discuss a leash law for cats. So those are, I do document every call back, and I sometimes have a great time. I like listening to what people have to say. Sometimes it just depends on what they say, and you never know what people are going to say, but it's, I just need to let you know the calls that I'm getting on that. Couple things that I've been looking into, maybe reincarnating the skate park project. I have a lot of work that had been done in 2010 on that. I kind of uncovered that and looking at a possibility of bringing that back, or a splash pad to one of the parks. So really just been kind of settling in. January starting to wind up. Like December was kind of different for me because it was like run, and then it kind of slowed down. It was kind of nice to get that break and be rested up. And everything as far as the city goes, I'll present my state of the city, but I think everyone in this building is working well together. We're moving in a forward direction and look forward to 2021. So just a couple things. If you have any questions, I'll definitely answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for the mayor? Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Williams, are you there? Can you hear me? You're on mute. I can see your name.
Yes, I'm here. I'm having trouble. With my videos, so I just went to the audio only.
Okay, well, you've been introduced. The mayor just gave his portion, so we're going to go ahead and swing back to you and get back on track. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Thank you. First off, appreciate everybody having me on here and allowing me to talk a little bit about the Red Cross and what I'm trying to do as far as with the city. Just a few talking points. First off, my title is an account manager. What that basically means, I work for donor recruitment and for our blood services division. So I recruit for blood drives, set up new blood drives. I have quite a wide territory. I cover Noble, Guernsey, Coshocton, Harrison, and Newcomerstown as far as the areas that I cover. I live in Cambridge, born and raised. So my family and I have lived here, the current place we live in, Cambridge, for 25 plus years. So I'm well versed in the territory and call it my home. So a few talking points when it comes to the Red Cross and our blood drives. Basically, the need for blood is constant. Every 2 seconds, someone receives a unit of blood by transfusion in the US. And that blood is used for many different reasons. Accident, burn victims, heart surgery patients, organ transplant patients, those receiving treatment for leukemia, cancer, sickle cell disease, premature babies, mothers giving birth, all need blood at some time or another. And the blood drive, the blood itself has a shelf life. Red blood cells basically have a shelf life of about 42 days, and then it has to be used by then or it's no good. Platelets only have a shelf life of 5 days, just because of their nature. Platelets are, made to clot to stop blood from flowing. So they have about a shelf life of 5 days. So that's why we constantly need blood, and the blood, the need for it never stops. The American Red Cross supplies about 40% of the nation's blood supply. We strive to take care of our local hospitals first. We supply blood for Coshocton Regional, as well as a lot of area hospitals, Southeastern Med being another one of them. We have contracts with them that we have it set up to where we are supposed to supply them with 70 units of blood per month. So we strive to meet those first. And then we also, of course, blood goes into the national database to where it can be sent across the US, especially if someone might have a rare type of blood or a special type of blood that someone needs, say in Montana. There's a national blood donor database that hospitals can look into and find a specific donor and request that unit of blood for their patients. So a lot of things of those nature that we do when it comes to making sure the patients that we serve get the blood that they need when they need it. The main reason I want to talk to you all today was, or this evening I should say, I wanted to hold a blood drive for the city of Coshocton. And basically I want to have it every 2 months. And that's basically when we have our blood drives every 2 months, because you can donate every 56 days, so 6 times a year. I would like it to focus mainly on city and county employees, but we also would open it up to the public so that we would have a lot of people to recruit from. I think it would do really well. The city of Coshocton and the county does it very well in the blood drives that I have there now. So I think there's definitely a opportunity there to have another successful blood drive on a routine basis. Basically, I would need a location, a room, preferably 1,800 or more square foot, ground floor, or elevator access. There can't be steps just because of all the equipment that we bring in to host it, to run the drive. Other than that, well lit, HVAC, nearby restrooms, just the basics like that. Outlets, to plug into. If need be, I could try and find a location myself, but I'm always looking for new locations. Some of the locations I use them quite a bit, and I really already feel like I'm overtaxing their generosity when it comes to that. So I'm always looking for new locations too. Other than that, I would need a primary contact person. We call them blood program leaders. Basically, they are the primary contact that I work with. They would help me and I would help them when it comes to promoting the drive, recruiting donors for the drive, the day of the drive, working with the staff. If they have any issues, they can contact them with the site or something going on with donors. I'm always available, 24/7. This is a job that I don't work any set hours. But it's very important to have that contact person, that person's a recruit, because having a successful blood drive entails more than hanging up flyers and then hoping that everybody will come to your drive. You really got to be a little more active and involved in it than that, with recruiting, whether it be through social media, emails, person-to-person ask, things like that nature work best. As far as a goal, we would probably be looking at something around 25 to 30 would be our goal. Those are a really an achievable number that's also makes it a successful drive. So other than that, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you all about. I mean, if you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to ask them or answer them for you.
Any questions for Mr. Williams?
Brian, this is Bob Skelton.
Hi.
As part of your blood drive, do you test for the antibodies from COVID-19?
Yes, we have been, and we continue to do so. Actually, we just received a word that is going to be extended through the middle of April. So every time they set a deadline, they keep extending it, that they're doing it. I think that has a lot to do with the need for convalescent plasma, which, for those of you who might not be aware, we do when we test for antibodies. One of the main reasons we're testing for antibodies, we're trying to find donors that have the COVID-19 antibodies and that could potentially be donors of the plasma that could go to convalescent plasma that is giving to usually people that are in critical care for COVID. And it's been shown to help in their recovery. It's definitely not a cure-all, but it's part of the arsenal that doctors use when it comes to treating the COVID. So yeah, that's kind of a long answer to your question, but yes, we are.
And second question is, could we make this available to family members of the city employees as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we would. like I said, I'd like to target the employees, obviously, with you guys' as support as far as employees, but we would open up to the public. So yeah, you know, those city employees and you guys can be recruiters also when it comes to asking your family members, friends, neighbors, whoever you would like. Absolutely.
Anything else? Anybody else have a question? We don't have a safety committee or a health committee. Is there a committee that wants to maybe take a look at this and see if we want to get involved? Or do you want to make a consensus statement tonight that you want to get involved? Okay. You want me to just assign the committee this? I'm trying to be nice. Since we don't have the health committee, how about the insurance committee? The insurance committee, be willing to look at that? I mean, we don't have a health committee on here. What say you?
I don't know who's on that committee. I don't have it in front of me, but it sounds like a proper direction. And go there.
Thank you for the backup, sir.
I would agree.
Let's look at that. The insurance committee taking a look at that. If there's anything you want to look at, if you're fine with it, just report the next meeting back to us that we're going to go or no go, and we'll get a consensus of that.
Who's on that health committee? I don't have the stuff in front of me.
Jackie, Michelle, and Kaylee.
Okay.
I think that was a good suggestion on my part.
Thanks, Roger.
Is that
No,
good
I
to
think
go?
it's a great idea. I love the idea.
Okay, well, we'll let the insurance committee take a handle on that and then get back with the full council. Thank you, Mr. Williams. We appreciate your time and your information.
Thank you, and appreciate you all's time too as well. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you. Safety director.
Not a lot tonight, Cliff. Just so Mr. Gross knows, hopefully we'll be starting on the 8th and 9th Street project this week. So if you start seeing some lines and survey stakes in the road, you'll know that's what's going on with Engineering Associates. So they said they got a couple people freed up this week that they think they're going to start on that. So did get some feedback from the Kimball company. They're getting more trash in the recycle totes than they're getting recycle. So on February 8th, they will be doing an audit. It doesn't involve us. They'll do their own audit, and then they'll be working on resident education after that. So tagging toter bins, and most of those new bins had stickers on them that told you what could go in there and what couldn't. But they said they've seen this before, the first time that the totes are used for recycle. So once they do some education, it should get better. But that's February 8th. West Lafayette update, we're scheduled to take that system over on the 30th, which is Saturday at 10 a.m. So Dave and I will be up there, and we'll take over the keys to the castle and get operating that system. So anytime after 10, we'll get the distribution calls, and it'll be our system at that point. So still waiting on some upgrades to be completed at the Chestnut Street booster station. That's there by the Sligo Apartments with the problems getting equipment in from, I don't know if it's coming from China or where, but some of the controls aren't going to be delivered till the middle of February. So we're all right with operating it up there, but it would be nice to have all that completed, but it's just not going to happen due to parts delivery. And that's about all I have, unless you guys got questions tonight.
Any
Mac,
questions?
probably 2 or 3 years ago, we were given a spreadsheet that showed potential water and sewer projects. I don't know, maybe sometime down the road we can get an update. I know the West Lafayette project would leave that grid, but You know, I know there was an area, I think on South 6th, there was 6th Street area that didn't have city sewer. And there was other areas within the city limits that didn't have the sewage either. So I don't know if you could just
Sure.
have Mr. K-Dryer or somebody give us an update on if there's been any discussion about potentially starting one of those projects or not.
Sure. Yeah, it always goes back to Casagam Hollow. I think those people were promised sewer 20 years ago when they annexed, and it just never happened due to the cost of it. But yeah, I'll get with Dave and get you that back. So we have probably 6 to 8 projects that Dave McVeigh had done preliminary engineering on probably 5, 6 years ago. That was, outside the cost would have went up since then. It shows the direction of the lines and everything. So I get that for you.
All right, thank you.
Any further questions?
I just had a quick question. Do you know if Kimball has a link or something available on their website that shows recycling that we could share on social media or something like that with the public too?
I don't know it for a fact, Michelle. I'd be shocked if they don't. So
Okay.
if nothing else, we could get that sticker or whatever they had on top of those toters when they brought them out, and take a picture of it and put it out on social media.
Okay.
There's actually a form that we posted, Michelle, when we initially started the toter program, and we can repost it. But yeah, it has everything listed.
Okay.
Can and can't. I mean, I think it just becomes just reading the top of your toter, and it tells you exactly what you can put in there. And sometimes I think it's educational, and sometimes I think it's disregard. So they'll definitely be out. So we don't want residents to be surprised when the recycling SWAT team knocks on their door.
Okay. Well, yeah, if we come up with something, I'll happily share it.
Right.
Anyone else?
Thank
All right, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Auditors report?
Good evening. I actually don't have any reports for you this evening. I'll have all the January reports for you at the first meeting in February. But if there's any questions on the appropriations or the addition of the ordinance to for the issuance of the water and sewer notes, I think I answered it all, or hopefully explained it well to you in the email. But just let me know. But all 3 of those ordinances tonight will need to be a passed emergency. That's all I have.
Any questions? All right, thank you. Anything from the clerk?
No, sir.
Okay. How about the ordinance committee?
Nothing at this point.
Finance committee?
I don't have anything at this point either. Thank you.
All right. Infrastructure committee?
Not, excuse me, not tonight, but upcoming weeks, yes.
Okay. Grants and economic development?
No, nothing to report.
All right. Housing and property maintenance?
No, nothing.
Safety services?
No.
Safety committee? Parks and recreation?
No, nothing.
Insurance committee? Nada? About the rules committee?
No, sir.
All right. Jeff Corder, do you have anything for us?
I have no report, other than I did look at Kimball's website real quick, and they do have a drop down that is a flyer that we could download and load somewhere on what you can recycle.
Okay. I have 6:30, 6:26 p.m. Anything further for this committee meeting?
President Biggers, this is Mike.
Yes, Mike.
This actually involves also Mr. Johnson in the second ward. I had a phone call from a Nancy Drake She lives at 125 Walnut Street. I'm really not sure how to answer this question. I'll just present it to Max and to Mr. Quarter. Maybe you might have a little bit of insight on it. She actually lives in Mr. Johnson's district, but what's going on is across the street from her. She lives on Walnut Street, so that's the districts or the wards are split at Walnut Street. So I've got the north side, which they're tearing down 2 houses there right behind Lawrence Insurance office. And one of them has been in process for several weeks. And from my observation, looks like they might just be doing a lot of salvage. But Dave and Nancy Drake, they're speaking for the other residents along there about the length of time it's taking to take this house down with a lot of debris all over the place and really not being supervised. It's just a group of individuals that come in, I think I say salvaging material, and then they're going to go to the other houses. My understanding in the house, both houses belong to Lawrence Insurance, and they probably just give them permission to go in there and take the houses down. No equipment involved, and it's all being hand done. And I don't know how you would even approach that. But the residents are getting a little upset because of the amount of dust and dirt and debris that's being generated there from that one house. And it's only partially down now. So I'm just going to present this, like I say, Max, or maybe, like I say, Mr. Quarter might have some insight on it that I could relay back to Dave and Nancy.
I have also heard that, Mike, from I think the same people you're talking about. I didn't remember the name that called me. I made a call to Lawrence's or Albertson's, I guess, last week and said, we need to speed that process up and get that house down. Jeff can probably speak more to this than me, but I don't know as we actually have anything in set writing how long they have to actually tear a house down. Jeff, do you know of a time like? I was just trying to say, hey, look, you're affecting your neighbors, and we need to get this done. I think they've only started on the one house, haven't they? It doesn't look like the second house has been started yet. So,
right, just the one house has been started. It has been several weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I made the call last week as soon as I hung up from them, I called them. I didn't get a hold of either of the Albertsons. I think they got some big fish to fry right now, looking at their poor, nice building that's caving in. But I'll be more than happy to make another call there.
Okay.
They would have to have a demo permit, regardless if they're taking it down piece by piece or if they have a company.
They have a
permit. Going to have to be responsible for the permit. And I think the permit has some time limits on it, doesn't it, Cherry? You're muted, Cherry.
There is an expiration date, and I'm trying to look that up right now.
I would agree with Mike on that. It just looks like they're doing like a hand salvage. I don't know if they're, reselling the wood. That's kind of what I see. It's just floor by floor. They're taking it down. I don't see any huge debris anywhere just laying around all over the place. When we were down there, actually I've been by a couple times and saw a pile. The typical house you can knock over in one day and have it gone, and they're kind of just taking piece by piece. So I always tell people it's fine until someone complains, and that's when it becomes unfine. So it's kind of the way we look at things here.
So that's going to be looked into by Mr. Johnson. That's your ward?
Yes.
All right, sir. So if there's anything we need to come back, we'll come back on that to see what the results are. Someone going to contact them?
Yeah, we'll just follow through with it. We'll get the building permit, figure out when they pulled that, figure out what the timeline is. If they haven't pulled it, we'll make sure they get building permits pulled and point out the timeline, tell them they got to keep things cleaned up.
I believe they have a demo permit, Jeff.
Okay.
Thank you all for that. Anything else? Then I have 6:32. If there's nothing else, we'll adjourn this committee meeting. We'll see you back at 7 for the regular council.
All right.
Thank you.
Just me and you.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, how's it going?
Wonderful. How about you?
Very well.
Good.
Jerry, I was just looking at the building permits and the ordinances. I don't see where it gives a timeline on how soon they have to complete it.
Demolition permit says 1 year.
Okay.
You keep saying building, but it's a demolition permit, and I will scan it and email it to you tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks, Roger. Was just he had asked about it, so. Thank you.
But there are lots of provisions in there about how they're supposed to keep everything wet and debris from flying around.
Yeah, only do it Monday through Friday, 7 a.m.
To dusk, yes.
I just sent him a screenshot of that, Cherry. I'm trying to see where it says year on there.
It does. It's
must
at the top, maybe in the very beginning. But I found it. I was thinking 6 months or a year, and it's 1 year.
Someone can get me a copy of that. I'll get it to Mike.
I sent it on your messenger, Roger.
All right.
It's on our codified ordinances. All you gotta do is go to codified ordinances and search demolition permit, and it's up at the top.
Do we have a copy of the actual permit for that group tearing that down?
I believe so.
Yeah, I said I would scan it to Jeff tomorrow. Do you want me to scan it to you as well?
Sure, and I will forward that on to one of the gentlemen that knows about it.
Let me put it in my phone so I don't forget.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Has Rodney been sick, Roger?
Yes.
I mean, I know he's been sick for a long time, but.
Yep.
It's just what they needed was that building falling in on top of that.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it's gonna be too cheap to fix.
No, I was wondering if that's the old basement from that. Remember, there's old white 2-story houses set there before.
Hope they have insurance.
Is that what's happening, Max? The basements underneath there from the old buildings?
That's what it appears. It looks like the whole corner of that building. If you look at the front, look at the side. I mean, just it's almost formed like a perfect V where it just cracked and let loose there. So I'm assuming the footer dropped, but I can't remember who built that building. Doesn't seem that long ago, but hell, it's probably been 20 years now.
I bet it has been, yeah.
Pardon me, I walked in late. Where are you talking about?
Albertson Lawrence Insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Max, did you see the question that we've received?
Yeah, I already called him, talked to him.
Taken care of.
Yep.
Okay.
Sheriff Crawford, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Thanks for joining.
Yes, sir. Wouldn't have missed it.
Sheriff Crawford, you're not bringing a report to us tonight, are you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll put you on the schedule. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
I did email those out.
Thank you, Cherry.
Thanks, Terry.
Isn't that amazing how we can multitask and do this live and do something else live at the same time? It's phenomenal
Yeah. Technology is a wonderful thing.
when it works right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get the one with the monster on it. I hear that one again.
So they have fixed me up during the Pledge of Allegiance. I will go off video and I will become a flag so everyone can see a flag.
Oh, bless your heart.
That was Mayor Mills and Tom Broadwater that they just chose me to be the flag.
Well, bless their hearts. All family here together. Mr. Johnson, would you lead the pledge tonight?
Yes, I will.
Thank you, sir. I have 7 p.m. Is everybody ready? All right. Let me click in. Council will come to order. Welcome everyone who's watching on Zoom. Today's date is January 25th, 2021. It's 7 p.m. This is our regular council meeting. I'm glad to have all of you participating. I'd ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Gross.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Salmons.
Here.
Andrews.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Turner.
Here.
Mishler.
Here.
Mr. Johnson will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and our chaplain, Mr. Gross, will lead us in a word of prayer. Will you please stand?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father God, we thank you for this opportunity to meet together as a city council. And we pray that you guide and direct us in everything that is said and done. And we pray this in your name. Amen.
Thank you very much. You may be seated, Council. Council should have received the minutes from January 11, 2021. Are there any questions, any deletions, additions, corrections?
I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes.
Move to approve. Is there a second?
A second.
Mr. Johnson seconds. Is there anything further? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Salmons.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
Those minutes are approved. Thank you very much. At this point in our agenda, we have any public comments or input? Kirk, did anyone say anything in?
We had one for Max and he's already contacted them and answered it, and we don't have any others.
All right. Well, that's we're open for those comments, and we've had them from time to time. So that's another avenue of communication. Thank you so much, Kirk. Now we get to a very important part of our meeting tonight. Tonight, Mayor Mills will be given the State of the City address. And I'd like to introduce the Mayor of the City of Coshocton, Mayor Mills, for the State of the City.
So I'm going to keep this somewhat entertaining. I know 15 minutes of me talking. You guys have been tortured the last year listening to 15 minutes of me at least every 2 weeks. So I'm going to keep it light and kind of discuss a lot of things happened in 2020. So I'm going to get rolling on this. And if I go too fast, Cherry, please slow me down. Okay.
We'll try.
So here goes nothing. You ready? Wow, 2020, what a year. From the pandemic to protest to political uncertainty and terms like we are in this together, new normal, unprecedented, and my personal favorite, which we heard tonight, you're on mute. And you have to yell because, the person can't hear you since they're muted. President Biggers, council members, elected officials, co-workers, and my fellow citizens, most importantly, I would like to start by thanking my inner circle that surrounds me daily, Max Crown, Cherry Wilson, Jeff Corder, the department heads, other elected officials, and every single employee that makes the city function on a daily basis, the ones that truly make things happen. Thank you to all the organizations that work together for the cause of progress. I would like to give a special mention to a few. The Coshocton County Government, Coshocton County Commissioners, Coshocton Port Authority, the Chamber of Commerce, Roscoe Village, and our town, Coshocton, and so many more that do so much for the good of our community. A special thank you also to Mom and Dad, of course, my sons, Dominique and Trip, and of course, my beautiful Ginger. I couldn't do what I do without the support or the hassle or the headache from each one of you also. I want to acknowledge the amazing job this year that the Coshocton Emergency Management Agency, Rob McMasters, the Coshocton County Health Department, Steve Lonsinger, the Coshocton City Health Department, Catherine Clark, and all the boots on the ground that are tasked with informing, educating, and keeping up to date with the protocols, statistics, and most recently, getting the vaccinations out to our community. Nothing would be possible without all the people and organizations mentioned above. Also, the people who live just an average normal life, get along with their neighbors, keep up their properties, and obey the laws, and give a little extra time to help advance our great city. I'm just a small piece of the overall progress piece of the puzzle here in Coshocton. Here in our hometown, with everything going on in our country, I feel as though we all work well together to overcome the adversity. What we're all watching on social media and the news outlets. We're a community that has lost out before, but always finds a way to come together and rise above any adversities thrown at us. For us, we have always been in this together. When a manufacturer left town, it became our new normal. From the time our city was incorporated in 1811, many unprecedented things have happened to us, both good and bad. But together, we have always continued to move forward. There are many highlights and major accomplishments this year. I will start with the projects that have been in the works for several years. Yes, government projects often take or move more slowly with many restrictions on the processes that must be done. The State Route 541 bridge, one of the most lengthy projects, but turned out so nice. The cherry on top of this project will be a giant Annan flag made right here in Coshocton, placed on a McQueen pole, also made right here. Our new ladder truck for the city fire department that was built after being ordered then had to be customized at a different location is now at Hale Station, which will be utilized for not only the city, but also in the county. And we hope that it doesn't get utilized very much. It's one thing that we hope does not get used. Our much needed new street sweeper, both of these vehicles were over 30 years old. Moving on to projects, most importantly, the West Lafayette Water Project. This truly leads the way for us to become a regional water supplier. I was personally involved in securing an additional $1.5 million of funding for this project through the state of Ohio EPA H2O funding and also the U.S. Army Corps of Engineer funding. With CARES Act monies, we were able to partner with the Coshocton City Schools in 2021 to provide Wi-Fi at all our local parks, the Heinball Park, Hall Park, and Bancroft Park, giving our citizens access to free Wi-Fi that many no longer can afford, or for our students that is needed for remote learning. Many city buildings were upgraded with air filtration systems. City Hall received a new HVAC system with air purification. Plexiglass was installed everywhere, just like everywhere else. Plexiglass is our new normal too, for the safety of our employees and our guests. We were able to purchase a new leaf machine that can be operated by one person instead of 6 employees. The old machine required for leaf collection. An enormous wireless internet project is ongoing on Main Street, running from 2nd Street to 7th Street. It will be a game changer for downtown business and resident access to the internet, all being contracted through Synced Wireless, a local technology company. This project will also be completed in 2021. We were able to help our neighbors out and give grants to the Coshocton City School District to purchase shields for students' desks, and to Kids America to help with their air filtration, HVAC, and also cleaning supplies. Would like to recognize one of the largest and most generous donations made locally during the pandemic was from Wiley Companies, when they made and bottled 10,000 bottles of hand sanitizer and distributed them throughout our community. This was during a time when money could not buy hand sanitizer, and it seemed the world had sold out. Wiley saw a need in our community and quickly went to work to provide a much needed commodity to help battle COVID-19 for people designated essential employees. At this point, I'd like to highlight some of the positives we've experienced in 2021. Banners were put up on the court square to recognize all of our classes of 2020, including county schools and the Opportunity School. Many seniors did not, well, all seniors did not get to participate in typical graduation ceremonies, prom, homecoming, and so many other events they should have gotten to celebrate during their senior year. I want to thank the Coshocton Foundation for their generous donation for the banners and making that happen. The Opportunity School had a coat drive this year. They placed coats on trees downtown for the less fortunate to pick up. Christmas Magic and Lights at the fairgrounds raised $9,000 in one night for the firefighters' toy fund. It was a traffic nightmare. We made it through, and we raised $9,000 for a great cause. And I think next year you will see more at Christmas time go on at the fairgrounds. Also, the Salvation Army raised over $50,000 for the Christmas Castle project this year. That's in about 3 weeks they raise that money. All these efforts show how giving our community truly is. Kids America hosted numerous baseball and softball tournaments this summer that attracted teams and talent from all over the state of Ohio. These events bring dollars to our community that are spent at all of our local businesses. I was involved with many new small business openings in Coshocton in 2020. Many small businesses are as good as any big business opening. We will do all that we can that will and can attract small, medium, and large businesses to our community. Just recently, with the partnership of the Coshocton County Port Authority, all the school districts, we as community partners retained 69 jobs at MFM Building Products, which has led to creating an $8 million expansion, including some 21 new full-time positions. We have contracted with MuniReg, a company that works with property owners of vacant or abandoned buildings to get them registered and to make a plan to restore demolished, blighted properties. We will continue to clean up Coshocton, one property at a time, whether it is dilapidated structures or junked up yards. And I would like to personally thank community residents for contacting us when they see something that has been overlooked. We have 65 miles of roadways here. That's a lot for one person, two people, three people to keep track of. So we appreciate the community reaching out. We've created the Historic Preservation Commission to work with property owners to get funding to restore and make progress in attracting businesses to our downtown area, which also in turn moves us one step closer to being a certified local government. Within our building at City Hall, we have a new director of Our Town Coshocton, Lanny Spalding, joining the cast and crew at City Hall this year. Beginning in February, we will have Middy's Ohio Building Department at least one day a week to create convenience for contractors wanting to build or improve local property. The city and the county have created the Coshocton County Land Reutilization Corporation, also known simply as the Land Bank. The Land Bank has representation from my office as well as county offices and also the Port Authority. This will allow us to take ownership of foreclosed properties and land and cut through the red tape to resell and return property to the open market without bureaucracy. The UTV ordinance was passed this year, making UTVs legal on city streets. We currently have over 50 registered with no complaints or issues as far as we have heard within the city of Coshocton. Discussion was started on creating a city police department. As of now, we are working with the new sheriff, Sheriff Crawford, and the sheriff's office, and with new administration in the office to figure out how to improve policing in our community. As mayor, I will always push for the best use of taxpayer dollars and hold every contract holder accountable to do their best work. And you're doing okay right now. Downtown is heading in the right direction. We appreciate the buy-in, not only the improvement in existing buildings, but also people going out on a limb, starting a business during these tumultuous times. I invite our entire county to check out the 3 for 3 initiative, where as a community, we tackle 3 important issues over 3 years: creating a culture of entrepreneurship, improving property maintenance and revitalization, and creating world-class technology and infrastructure. The power is in the people. The more people who become involved, the lighter the work, and the more understanding people become educated of the hurdles that we face either in the public or private sector. I am very excited in what has happened so far with this initiative and cannot wait to see where it takes us. My first year was very exciting. Representing my hometown through a pandemic wasn't easy at times. In life, you're faced with uncertainty and situations that are out of your control. I'm a true believer in it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to the situation that truly matters. The pandemic created relationships and partnerships that probably would have never happened without this sickness and loss of life among us. I am proud to call Coshocton home. So on the financial side of things, it's really short and sweet. We were up 2% in 2019 in income tax collections, and Sherry kept all the spending straight, and she gave me every penny I ever wanted to do whatever I wanted to do with. I was waiting for her to smile, but okay, there it is. There it is, waiting. So as far as financially, I guess when you look at the books, it's like nothing bad happened. In the future, we will be spending money on infrastructure. There are system upgrades in the treatment plants that we need to take care of some things. Overall, our financial situation does look pretty good. And I think, really that's thanks to our office here, our auditor, our tax office, our office, all working together, knowing where we're at. But I have to thank the actual people out there working every day. I know some days it's, you don't feel like you're making ends meet, but I think what people did this year, the taxpayer needs a round of applause because we're 1.82% over last year. So thanks for going to work every day. You actually helped your community out, and we do appreciate any penny that we get in tax revenue. So thank you. And we want to be good stewards when it comes to spending that tax revenue as well. Exciting things happening. Sometimes exciting things happen. People get excited, and then other people just get mad because it's not their favorite business. But we will be welcoming Ollie's to South 2nd Street and also Dunkin' Donuts to South 2nd Street. Momentum on Main Street. The housing market's on fire. There's a lot to celebrate here. So I think we should all be smiling. I want to take this opportunity, like I do almost every meeting, reminding our residents about the city's website. It is www.cityofcoshocton.com. Our website is top notch, and I welcome you to compare it to other cities around us. Just type in Newark, type in Philly, wherever, just compare. We have worked diligently to provide pertinent information on our site. All council members can be contacted via our website. There's also the ability to see who your council person is, has a nice map. Each member has a picture and the map showing the area of their ward. The minutes from each council meeting are uploaded to the website. Myself and each department head also can be contacted via the website. I am very accessible. If you can ever get your problem resolved with someone underneath that is actually being paid and directed by me, I would appreciate that. If you want to go straight to the top, you can do that. But I want everyone to know that there are a lot of people who work for the city of Coshocton who are there for the community and do a great job every day answering questions or getting the job done. I want to invite everyone to Coshocton City Council meetings. They're being live streamed via YouTube on the Coshocton City Hall channel. The other day we reached 100 subscribers to our YouTube channel. So now we only need about 10,000 more, and then people will actually know what's going on. So I want to invite anyone to tune in not only to watch council meetings held the second and fourth Monday of each month, but become involved in your local government. Ask questions and share ideas. If you would like to address council while the meetings are being held or before the meetings, your questions and concerns, you can email to questions@cityofcoshocton.com. These will be read to council during the public input portion of the meeting. I like to say we've made it so easy, you don't even have to leave your couch. I mean, if you want to sit at your dining room table and watch, that's fine too. But like, you don't even have to leave your couch. We can't make this any easier. In closing, I want everyone to know this will never be about me. It will always be about we. We can waste our time and energy on complaining, or we can spend it productively talking and achieving things we'd like to see in our city together. It all starts with you. Thank you for the opportunity to make a difference in our hometown. I invite you to also make a difference. God bless our city. God bless our country and each and every one of us. Much love. Your Mayor, Mark Mills, #choose Coshocton. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that state of the city. We appreciate that so very much. Thank you. Are there any standing committee reports? Then before we get to the rest of the agenda, I'd like to, at this time, there's an addition on the agenda to be added to the legislation. 3-21 is requested to be added to the legislation for first reading tonight. I'd ask someone to make a motion to bring that in.
Mishler, so moved to bring 321 onto the agenda.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second, Michelle.
Ms. Turner seconds. Any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson.
Johnson?
Johnson, unmute.
Looks like he's stuck.
Yeah.
Oh, that may be.
Frozen. Salmons,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
You want to try
Chat
that,
is
Johnson?
rebooting.
We have enough to pass?
Pardon me?
We have enough to pass?
Oh yeah, we just need the majority to add it to the agenda.
Yes, I was waiting on Mr. Johnson to see if he got back.
He's
I
back.
see him there. Mr. Johnson, are you there? Unmute, please.
All right, I'm back.
All right, I'd like to get what your vote is on adding to the agenda.
I'm good.
3-21. Is that a yay?
Yeah.
All right, that's recorded. That is added to the agenda. City Service Director. Unmute.
Sorry. I would like to inform the residents, like we brought up at committee, about February 8th. The Kimball Company will be doing an audit of our recycle trash collections. They've been finding a lot of non-recyclables in those toters. So they'll be auditing our city that day. So if you see a strange vehicle following the recycled truck, you'll know what that is. And they'll be leaving educational information for our residents. We will, I'll get with Cherry and we'll put something out on our social media that maybe everybody can share of what does not belong in the recycle totes and what does belong. So Just wanted to get that in the minutes, Cliff.
All right.
Thank you.
Any questions for the city director?
Yeah, Max, real simple question. Is it trash items or is it incidental leaves or something like that?
She didn't really spell it out. Then I'm assuming it's trash items that I thought she just said yard waste if that's what it is. So I'm assuming it's trash items that they can't split out. So
Thank you.
Any further? Thank you for that report. Law director's report.
Earlier today, I emailed everyone a copy of the law director's annual report. Well, I would like the minutes to reflect that that was given tonight.
So be it, be reflected.
Also, your December report was emailed January the 13th.
Thank you.
All right. Those will be so noted in the minutes. Any questions for the director? I'm sorry, the law director. Thank you for that report.
Thank you.
We have a new sheriff in town, and he's got a report for us tonight. Sheriff Crawford, you're up, sir.
Thank you, President Biggers, and good evening, everyone. I did email the report, so hopefully everyone got it in their packet. Along with the report, I want to add that I do not like that report. Please disregard any future resemblance in that report, as I will make it a lot more clear with more detail for everyone. Those are just statistics on how many calls we've had in the last 2 weeks within the city of Coshocton. And that was a preformed report. And being that I was out at school a couple weeks ago, I have not had enough time to recreate or create a very pleasing report for council. So I will be working on that. Expect a lot better report in the future. The second I would like to add, Mr. Mayor, I don't know that I can top your speech. Very well said. And I do want to make one correction. You said that we're doing okay. I want to assure you that okay is not acceptable to me. I want to do great. And I expect we're going to be able to show you what we are able to do for you and our residents here in the city of Coshocton. Number 2 email form that I sent out was a shift assignment that will reflect who it is that's on the patrolling the city of Coshocton, and the unit numbers that are highlighted in red reflect who is being patrolling our community in the city of Coshocton. So hopefully I can, that explains it a little bit more clearer. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But in the future, I expect a lot better report to be submitted.
I apologize. I did not receive those reports. I'm not sure if everybody else did, but I do not have those in my email.
Kaylee, Sheriff Crawford had responded to the ordinance, the one sent out that said corrected 3-21. So if you'll follow that feed, I think you'll see his reports.
Okay, maybe it's just not coming up on my phone when I look at it. So, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Anything further? Thank you, Sheriff, for that report. Appreciate it.
Hey, I want to say on the record, thank you, Sheriff Crawford. I've been asking for a year for that, what you sent today. So it's, well, yeah, about a year and a month. So thank you. That's all I want to say. And it's been it hasn't been a month yet. So you're still doing just okay. And then we'll evaluate it next month. Okay.
Very well.
So far, so good. So far, so good. I will tell you that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff, for that report.
Thank you.
The auditor's report.
Good evening. I don't have any reports for you this evening, but if anybody has any questions on the 3 ordinance, I can answer those. If not, like I said in committee, those will need to be passed emergency tonight.
All right. I'd ask the clerk, are there any other reports we need to reflect in the minutes?
No, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Property code inspectors report.
I have no report. Try to answer questions if I can.
Are there any questions for the property inspector? All right, being none, we'll move down. Introduction of ordinances. I'll take them in the right order that they are going to go down in a minute. We have for first reading 1-21. I'd ask the clerk to read for first reading 1-21.
Appropriations.
You've heard the first reading of 1-21. Are there any questions?
I'll make a motion, we suspend the rules and give it a second reading.
Move to suspend. Is there a
I'll
second?
second. Moore.
Second by Mr. Moore. Anything further? Clerk, call the roll.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Salmons.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
I'd ask the clerk to give a second reading to 1-21.
Appropriations.
Heard the second reading 121. Are there any questions or discussion?
Mishler, I move to suspend the rules and give it a third and final reading.
Move to suspend. Is there a second?
Johnson, second.
Mr. Johnson, second. Anything further? Clerk, call the roll.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Salmons.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
Ask the clerk to give a third reading to 1-21.
Appropriations.
You've heard the third reading of 1-21. Are there any questions or discussion? Being none, the question is, should you pass this ordinance? Clerk, call the roll.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Salmons.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
1-21 is adopted. Thank you. Ask the clerk to read first reading 2-21.
Appropriations.
You've heard the first reading of 2-21. Are there any questions?
I make a motion to suspend the rules and give a second reading.
Move to suspend. Is there a second?
I'll
Mishler.
second.
Oh, Kaylee.
Ms. Moore, Ms. Kennedy, second. Andrews, I'm sorry. Anything further? Clerk, call the roll.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Salmons.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
Ask the clerk to give a second reading to 2-21.
Appropriations.
For the second reading, are there any questions or discussion?
I'll make a motion, we suspend the rule and give it a third reading.
Move to suspend by Ms. Selman. Is
I'll
there a
second. Moore.
Mr. Moore, second. Anything further? Clerk, call the room.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Salmons.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
Would ask the clerk to give a third reading to 2-21.
Appropriations.
You've heard the third reading of 2-21. Are there any questions or discussion? Hearing none, the question is, should you pass this ordinance? Clerk, call the roll.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Salmons.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
2-21 is adopted. Thank you. Moving to 3-21, first reading. I'd ask the clerk to read 3-21.
An ordinance authorizing the issuance of $1,145,000 of water and sewer system acquisition bonds, Series 2021, to retire notes previously issued in anticipation of such bonds and declaring an emergency.
You've heard the first reading of 3-21. Are there any questions?
I'll make a motion. We suspend the rules and give it a second reading.
Move to suspend. Is there a second?
Mishler.
Mr. Mishler, second. Anything further? Clerk, call the roll.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Salmons.
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler,
Yes.
Ask the clerk to give a second reading to 3-21.
an ordinance authorizing the issuance of $1,145,000 of water and sewer system acquisition bonds, Series 2021, to retire notes previously issued in anticipation of such bonds and declaring an emergency.
You heard the second reading of 3-21. Are there any questions or discussion?
Just so I can hear Terry read that again, I'd like to move that we suspend the rules and give the ordinance a third reading.
Move to suspend so Sherry can read it again. Is there a second?
Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, second. Anything further? Clerk, call the room.
Groves,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Salmons,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
I'd ask the clerk to give a third reading to 3-21.
An ordinance authorizing the issuance of $1,145,000 of water and sewer system acquisition bonds, Series 2021, to retire notes previously issued in anticipation of such bonds and declaring an emergency.
You have heard the third reading of 3-21. Is there any discussion? Being none, the question is, shall you pass this ordinance? Clerk, please call the roll.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Salmons,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
3-21 is adopted. Thank you. Is there any old business? Any new business? Any communication from the administration? Any communications from council? Any communications from the clerk?
No, sir.
Being there is nothing further, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mishler, so moved.
Moved by
Salmon
Mr.
second.
Salmon second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Salmons,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Mishler.
Yes.
Before everyone leaves, I'd ask the clerk, when is our next meeting?
It will be
February 8th.
Monday, February the 15th. That's President's Day. Are we closed?
It should be the 8th. That's the
Should be the
second
8th.
Monday.
Yay.
Oh, good. Yes, the 8th, February the 8th, 6 p.m.
All right, 6 p.m. for committee and 7 p.m. for regular council. Thank you all. Have the rest of a good evening. God bless.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.